sodium content, but it's a lot more tender. It doesn't have those little stringies. I tend to favor it myself in terms of savory dishes.
Chris is busy.
In terms of
Chris
sweet
Kendall.
dishes, I prefer celery. You know, like celery and dates is pretty darn nice, but celery and bok choy is bok choy and dates is my favorite. Plus, they just make the perfect spoons ever. You know, if you just like have a bunch of spoons. Boy, bok choy, you really make me a happy kid. All right. If I could have the help of one happy volunteer. Who wants to be a happy volunteer? Oh, there we go. Do you want to deep hit and throw a couple of these beautiful donut peaches into the blender for me? So you could, of course, like I said, use mango or anything like that, whatever tickles your fancy, whichever you have available and enjoy the most. These donut peaches have a good thickness to them. I like the sauce to be relatively thick rather than really thin and watery. You can use as much or as little as you want. Let's put at least one or two more in. You know, typically if I was eating this myself, I might put all of the peaches in there, make it really sweet, or otherwise I might eat 3, 4, 5, 6 peaches, make this, and then finish off my meal with that. Eating the fruit first. There we go. Yeah, oh yeah, we can fit them all in there. Who says we fit them all in there? Yeah. All right, we want it sweet, right? We're sweet lovers. Life is sweet. Life's a box of peaches, right? Life's a box of donut peaches. What do you call them?
Flat peaches.
Flat peaches. That's
Because they're flat, you know?
They are kind of flat. I've also heard them called as UFO peaches, which is kind of fun as well. You know? At the end of the day, they're just really delicious peaches. All right, so we're getting to the amazing part here. With the end of the chopping of the bok choy. Nope, that's good for now. So, thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause? So there we go. We have all the chunks in our bowl, right? If we want, we can give that a little bit of a stir. You could use any other ingredients. It doesn't have to be these. This is my personal favorite stew. I find tomatoes to be an integral part, but otherwise you can put some cucumber, some celery, some cabbage, some peppers, anything you really like. Oh my. All right. So we have those in there. And we're just going to blend this nice and smooth using the trusty Vitamix blender. May I have an ooh? Ooh. Thank you. All right, so blend this nice and smooth. All right, now perfect. All right, so on top of that, we're going to add all of these herbs. Now again, if you don't like cilantro, you can use something else. I'm a complete cilantro fiend, so I like to use a lot of cilantro. Sometimes I just put cilantro in there, 2 heads. Herbs are incredibly nutritious, of course, and this is a pretty mild one. It goes really well. I like to rip it into a few bits, get my workout. We'll throw some arugula in there. Ooh, look at that. Oh gosh. Is it all going to fit? I don't know. Oh gosh. Maybe I shouldn't be up. I got to run. Okay, we'll see what happens. So, we'll get this going. We want to, this is a trick with the savory veggie stew action. You want to keep the dial at around a 4 or 5, maybe a 6 if you're getting crazy with it, right? But I'm going to put it down to about a 4.5. I'm just feeling not that confident. We're going to turn it up. And you just push with the tamper in there. If you don't have a tamper, you can very carefully use a celery stick or something like that. That works all right too. There we go. So we got all that going in there. Oh wow, we have some room. Now, an extra little trick. I put the cilantro in there first because there's all those stems, and the stems are tougher than all this other stuff. So sometimes when you're on the 4, just give it a quick, just 1 quick pulse. Oh, wait, 2, wait, 3, there we go. So 3 quick pulses and you'll probably get most of that stem action all covered. So we're going to put some of this in here. You could, of course, add some spinach as well, or some wild greens, or a different herb of your choice. Really, whatever greens you like. This is an easy way to get way more greens into your life without really feeling like you're a rabbit, you know? I don't mind to be a rabbit. I love rabbits, but... You want to be a rabbit? We can all be rabbits if we want, and this can still be a rabbity meal, but you don't have to be a rabbit. Rabbits are good, disclaimer. Alright, so we'll turn this up a little bit again. Get all of that in there. Boom. And of course, you can use as little or as much greens as you like. I have some friends who make their stews with very little greens. I have some friends who make their stews with mostly mango and just a little bit of green onion. Whatever you like, but it's a nice big green smoothie, right? We'll dump that over top. And we'll just leave a little bit in. There we go. You can pretend it looks really appetizing and go, ooh. Oh. Sometimes with mangoes, it comes out a little bit more of an orangey green, which is a little bit more appetizing. It's definitely not one of those meals that you serve and everyone's like, wow, that looks great. But when you put your mouth on it, like you deliver it with the spoon, that spoon action to mouth, usually smiles result, and you're like, wow, I want more. And then the spoon goes back in and comes back, before you know it's all gone. So this is the basic, hygienic, savory veggie stew here.
Thank you very much, Chris.